It is 14 minutes past 8. And you know what? In studio, we do have an advocate of the High Court. He's a member. That is Lawrence Obonyo. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
I see you got the memo.
Of?
The pink.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good day to wear pink.
It is a good day to wear pink.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we want to start. There was a story on the Standard newspaper yesterday.
Yes.
Of a man. So this man is seeking to remove his name from his son's birth certificate.
Yeah.
So let me break it down. So he met this woman with a child.
Yes.
And then now they got into a relationship. And then now they had their own child.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
I think it's not clear if they live together or not.
Yeah.
But after the separation,
yes,
the lady went to court and sued the man for child support.
Yes.
And the court ruled in favor of this woman.
Yes.
So he's been providing for his, the second child and the first child.
Yes.
So now he's moved to court to ask the court to remove his name from the birth certificate. So he claims that the lady took his ID and registered, put his name on the child's birth certificate without his consent.
Okay.
So he's going to court and he's asking the court. He's saying, this is not my son. This is not my kid.
Yes.
And I'm being asked to take care of this child. Si wangu.
Yes.
Right? But now I also want my name removed from that birth certificate because the boy is about to turn 18.
Yes.
He's also supposed to now get an ID.
Yeah.
When he goes to get an ID, he'll need what? His father's details.
Yes.
So this man is in court seeking this. Let's break it down.
First of all, it's quite unfortunate because there are so many things that have happened in between that are morally reprehensible and legally wrong.
Yes.
When you look at that situation, you have these two children. From what I'm getting, the man does not dispute the parenthood of his own child.
No, he does not.
He does not. And he doesn't have a problem with his name being carried in the child's birth certificate.
His child, he does not have a problem with.
The problem is the other child.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
The one he did not sire.
Now, legally speaking, for registration of births and deaths on its own in terms of what the Act provides, you are supposed to get consent of that person before you put their names there.
Oh.
Failure to which, you're supposed to secure a court order. Are we together? You can secure a court order. For instance, my brother here, Mr. Gona, decides that I will not participate in putting the name of the child. The child has a constitutional right to identity and root. So this mandates that the mother can move the court to secure orders to compel him to give a copy of his birth certificate, of his ID, for the names to be entered into the birth certificate.
That is if Gona is the biological dad.
Correct.
Okay.
Now, during that process is when, if someone is disputing, a DNA will be conducted and then all that will come in. But you cannot force or do it clandestinely and then get away with it.
So the lady is in the wrong.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh.
If she took the ID without his consent, then that clearly shows that there was a late registration. Because initially, during the process is supposed to be when you give birth, there's a birth notification that is given.
Yeah.
And during the issuance of the birth notification, the father gives a copy of his ID. So if this registration happened later on without the consent of this man, then there was an aspect of criminality on the part of the mother. And this criminality can come in so many other ways, like uttering a false document, securing the registration without the right documentation and all that. Because legally speaking, this man's identification document is not the right documentation for this child.
Yeah.
So if it's a late registration and this was done, then when you go back to the root of it, you have to find out who was registered in the notification of this child.
Yeah.
And why was it a late registration? How did she secure this? What did it involve? Bribery? Did it involve getting people to do the wrong things at the wrong time?
Yeah.
Such things. Now, there's a question of this being an application that is made when the child is almost turning 18.
Yeah.
Where was this man all this period of time? Did he know or did he not know of this circumstance?
of the... So he says, he claims that he did not. So you see this whole registration?
Yes.
He claims that
He did not
know that the lady in question, now the one he said the second child with, had put his name on the child's birth certificate.
Okay.
So before we go to that, there's now... Because you see, the lady sued him.
Yes.
For child support.
Correct.
And the court ruled in favor of the lady.
Correct.
And this is not a child support of the second child, no. It was of the first child.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, to touch back on that, remember there was a time we discussed here on the aspect of assumption of parental responsibility.
Yes.
When you assume parental responsibility, it matters not whether the child is yours, registered in your name or not. So that is why it is very easy, if our listeners are looking at this, it is very easy for the lady to win on the child support part and the man to win on the part of registration of birth certificate without his consent. Because these are two totally different things. When you're looking at the support of the child, the maintenance, if this man had assumed parental responsibility, he assumed parental responsibility. Parental responsibility does not include registration of your name without your consent. This is a totally different regime because the children courts will give you a mandate to provide for this child directly to the mother. That is an order that is direct.
Yes.
When you talk about the regime of registration, you're bringing in a third party into play.
Yeah.
This is the registrar of births and deaths. This is an independent, separate entity that issues all of this. And you cannot walk one day and say, I want Salim to be registered as a father of my child and all of this. They will tell you, bring us his documentation, the notification, an affidavit, and a possible court order.
So Salim has to give consent to that.
Correct.
So in a case where, I like that, so meaning this man could actually win, like the court could actually rule in his favor to remove his name from the child's birth certificate.
Indeed.
But it will still continue to support.
Correct. There's a very recent case where I think it was at the Apex Court, the Supreme Court, where the court indicated something about registration of a child. One, we have to understand it's a constitutional right for a child to have identity. Now, this does not mean that the avenue or the doors have been opened for fraudulent registration. For instance, I'm seated here, I've not sired a child with anyone, and then tomorrow I hear that a child bears my name simply because someone else has another agenda. Then I have a right to protect myself in terms of my privacy, the intrusion that is going to be there. But if this mother 100% believes that I am the father of this child and I am not participating, remember it's a child's right to have an identity, then the mother can initiate the process and then compel at a later stage using the right channels, the courts and everything. But just on the face of it, you're not supposed to do anything. Yes.
Okay.
Sasa hapa mahali hii sheria ni ngumu.
Naam.
Historially, morality, moral na legality.
Yes.
Okay, so tuseme vile ulivyoeleza. Huyu mwanamume anaweza akashinda hii kesi ya umesema ni identity, right?
Yes.
Ameshinda.
Ya kwa birth.
Haya, huyu naye akashinda hiyo mnaita up maintenance.
Ndio.
Akashinda kwa sababu alichukua majukumu.
Naam.
Right?
Naam.
So, okay. Is it possible?
Ndio.
Huyu akishashinda kwamba mimi identity yangu haifai kuwa hapo, ameshinda.
Ndio.
Arudi apply another case ya kujitoa pale kwa ku maintain na whatever.
Hata Miriam amekataa hii.
Nakataa yeye kwa sababu
nakuelewa ni swali ambalo it makes a lot of sense. Kuna foundation nzuri. Because utasema hata pale nimeondolewa kwa majina sababu ya fraud na mambo kama haya. Lakini kumbuka mazungumzo ambayo tuliokuwa nao hapo mwanzo, tulikuwa tumezungumzia wakati ambapo unapewa majukumu ya mtoto ambayo umechukulia ulikuwa unafanya, na hautaki kufanya majukumu hayo, lazima utoe sababu ambayo hautaki. Sababu moja inaweza kuwa kusema baba ya huyu mtoto yuko mahali fulani, amekuwa na uhusiano na huyu mtoto, na huyu mama pengine anataka kunufaika kwa mara ngapi? Mara mbili. Lakini kusema ya kuwa kule nimeshinda kesi ya kuniondoa katika stakabadhi au cheti cha kuzaliwa, alafu nirudi upande huu niseme sasa sababu nimeshinda kule hata majukumu sitaki kuchukua, haiendi hivyo. Sababu uzazi katika kipengee cha sheria cha Children's Act ya 2022 inaangalia yale majukumu unachukua, inaangalia uzazi kwa mtazamo tofauti. Si eti tu yule ambaye ni baba mzazi, baba mlezi pia.
Yaani mtoto akishaniita baba hapa kimeniramba.
Bora umechukua yale majukumu na umejibeba kama baba ya mtoto, na umefanya mambo kama hufai kusitisha majukumu yako.
Umri wa huyo mtoto mpaka miaka mingapi? Maana Miriam umetaja anakaribia 18. Yes, ama amefika 18.
Yes, he's about to turn 18. Meaning anaenda kutafuta ID.
Haitaisha hapo maana amekuwa mtu mzima.
Ni vizuri sana unasema hivyo, sababu pia wasikilizaji wetu wanafaa kuelewa kunao ile kitu kisheria inaita, ama kwa kimombo wanaita extension of parental responsibility. Mtoto si mtoto tu kwa umri. Kwa umri utakuja kwa zile makosa za jinai where you're talking about statutory issues. Lakini kulingana na majukumu ama kuangalia majukumu ya watoto, kunako extend parental responsibility mpaka awe huru akiwa anaweza kujisimamia mwenyewe. Kisheria huwa wanaangalia miaka 23, miaka 24, hapo na mtazamo wao ni huu ya kuwa mtu huyu amemaliza masomo ya msingi, masomo ya upili, akaenda hata kama ni college kwa miaka 22, 23, hapo anafaa kuwa amekamilisha. Hapo sasa ile kuextend parental responsibility ama kuongeza kujukumika kwa mzazi kunahitaji a very special scenario. Yes. Kwa hivyo hauwezi kumwacha tu eti amefikisha miaka 18.
That's it. Yeah. And I like that we're talking about this, but it would be a bit of an injustice if I don't ask this question.
Yes.
So now we've talked about there are times when you're a single parent, you meet a man,
yes,
and you want to you're in a relationship with this man,
yes,
and your baby's father has not been present.
Correct.
In terms of providing and whatnot, so you've been doing it by yourself.
Yes.
Then you meet a man who comes into your life and he's present, he's supportive, and then now there's marriage, right? Now this man would like to register himself as now the father and have his name in the birth certificate.
Very good. I agree with you 100%. It would have been a total injustice not to ask that question.
Yes.
Because it's reversing what that gentleman is going through right now.
Yeah.
He wants to remove himself,
Yes.
but there are people who want to be
included.
Yes. So similar process has to apply. The biological father was included there but never turned up and has never shown up completely.
Yes.
This new person has to make an application to court to convince the court that this registration is going to be for the best interest of the child. Remember, anything that we are talking about regarding a child, we are guided by Section 8 and Article 53(2) of the Constitution. Both of these provisions of the law underscore the best interest of a child. They say that in touching on matters regarding children, the guiding principle is the best interest of the child. So, will the registration of this new, parent to assume responsibility be in the best interest of this child?
Yeah.
Or will the remaining of the name of the father who has never stepped up even in one bit? We're not talking only about provision only, because there are people who may be not blessed in terms of provision,
But they're present.
Yeah. They take their time with the child, they do visitation, they guide the child and all that. So if he is completely absent in every way possible, and this other person is completely present, then we present this through an application to court, we ask the magistrate or the judge to give an order to the registrar of births and deaths to strike out the name of this other person and include the name of this other new person. And what could be the good reasons? One, for purposes of registration of medical support, like insurance. Two, to give a child an actual identity of the person who's been there present as a father. And three, to assist them even obtain and secure documentation, including but not limited for travel. Like let's say you want to take a visa, you want to take a passport. Number four, another reason why you may ask this is for this child's educational journey to be good and secure. Because when you go to school, you have to register a parent. Certain schools and certain institutions are very strict on who can come and access. You have to have a direct connection. So if this person who has assumed parental responsibility is not in the documentation, is locked out from being there to access the child, does it serve the best interest of the child? The answer is no. And then for any other future needs of this child, maybe the child may need certain medical attention, urgent medical attention, the person who is in the documentation. So you find that when you enumerate the reasons, you ask the court and you involve the third party who is required to do this registration and striking out, then the court will allow it. I am a living testimony that as an advocate, we have processed that for certain people.
Oh, that's good.
One, removal of name.
Yeah.
Someone who mistakenly not mistakenly, but they thought they were doing the right thing, but later on realized they did a mistake. They put the name of a person, and this person insisted that I'm not the father, and both parties agreed that they're not the father. So we made an application, and it was allowed for removal of name and issuance of a new birth certificate, and also inclusion. We've made such applications that have been allowed.
So do you have to consult the biological dad?
For this second aspect, you have to notify.
Okay.
There's a difference between notifying and consulting. Consulting is wanting input. Notifying is just letting them know that this process is happening. If they have any objection, they can participate. Most times you find that if there are no other aspects of maybe wanting to punish the other person or punish the child, the person may even give a consent affidavit saying that, go ahead, I have nothing to do with this child. You may find those people who are bitter or are myopic, they don't want to see the full picture. Then they may decide to bring problems. But Section 8 and Article 53(2) guide. They say that the best interest. So even if they are protesting, whichever way they protest, the court will consider the best interest of the child.
Wow.
Yes.
Kuna swali hapa la kijinga hili.
Sila hakuna swali la kijinga.
La kijinga kwa sababu juzi hapa kuna watu wengine wataje majina nitakuwa nawapa kiki. Walikosana. Ndio. Wakatengana. Mtoto anaitwa Ushawajua. Waona uzuri uko sharp. Mtoto yaitwa Miriam Barisa. Walivyoachana akaenda akambadilisha, anaitwa Miriam Angel. Akampatia jina Barisa likaondolewa. Akampatia hilo jina la huko kwao. Yani mama huyo.
Sasa kwa mambo kama hayo, swali ambalo linajitokeza ni kuna majina watu wanajipatia ya mitandao ya huko nje, lakini katika stakabadhi ili uondoe jina la mtu si rahisi kama kuamka leo eti umekerwa na mtu fulani kesho umebadilisha. Huko si kubadilisha majina. Kunao hizi majina ambazo tunatumia za utani, kila mahali mtu atakuwa anajiita fulani bin fulani, kesho amebadilisha. Kupitia mfano ambao unasema, naona ni kama hiyo ilikuwa hiyo maneno ya kubadilisha tu mitandao ya kijamii ya kujaribu kumkera mwenzako. Lakini kama yule mtoto alichukuliwa cheti chake cha kuzaliwa, majina haya yanaweza kubadilishwa tu kupitia njia ya koti. Hiyo ingine ni ya kufurahisha followers.
We are speaking to Lawrence Obonyo of Lawrence Obonyo Legal Advocates. You have a question for us, 0700917917. We'll be right back. We literally just touched on children matters. If you're struggling with something and you're thinking, what do? I don't know how to go about it. You know where he is? He's at Imara Building, 5th floor, opposite Pandya Hospital. So you know what to do. Sikae hapo, sikae kimya.
Karibuni sana.
Yes.
Bwana wakili, hapa kuna statement. Court declines to bar police DIG Eliud Lagat from resuming duty.
Yes.
Pending determination of petition challenging his suitability over links
to
on
the murder.
Yeah. So is Deputy Inspector General Eliud Lagat back in office?
According to reports, and what I got is that he is physically back in office, that he had a briefing yesterday with the Inspector General, and also that he just resumed office as soon as the ruling was given, or the declination to give those prohibitory orders were given. And then legally speaking, he is back to office. Legally speaking, he's back to office.
Sasa hiyo itakuwa inamaanisha nini haswa, kwa sababu IPOA wamesema ni kama bado hawajamaliza,
ndio,
lakini pia hazuiliwi kuingia ofisi.
Kweli. Sasa kufikia hapo inatoa ile gap ama mwanya ambao tunaona katika kunao katika kisheria hapa nchini. Kuna mambo mengi sana ambao tunasema mashirika ambayo yanaangalia usalama na vitu kama hivyo hawana ule uhuru wa kikamili. Hebu niambie vile IPOA itaweza kufanya kazi yake na kumfanya uchunguzi kama huyu ni mmoja wapo ambao waliotajwa kuwa walihusika katika mambo ambayo yalielekeza mpaka mauaji ya yule Albert Ojwang. Watafanya vipi uchunguzi anawakamilishe kihaki hali huyu mtu yuko ofisini? Wanahitaji kutumia ofisi ile kufanya uchunguzi. Sasa hebu niambie, anayechunguzwa ataweza kushirikiana na wachunguzi vipi kumpata awe na hatia? Sasa hapo kuna shida fulani ambapo pengine ni jambo ambalo tunafaa, kwa mara nyingi tunaona watu wengi wanakimbilia, na tumesema koti ndio zinafaa kutusaidia, na kwa wakati mmoja unapata koti hawakupatii zile amri ambazo unafikiria utapewa.
And you see, when you're saying that, I'm just thinking, like, who is hurting the justice system?
Wow. That's a very heavily loaded question. Who is hurting the justice system? At a personal level, I say so many people are hurting the justice system, because the justice system is a multifaceted kind of system. It is not one that you can depend on one arm or one individual or one section to do its job, and then at the end of the day you get justice. If there is an offense that happens, investigations have to be done by the police. Then the resultant of this investigation have to be forwarded to the Director of Public Prosecution. The Director of Public Prosecution has to consider, we're talking about the criminal justice system. The Director of Public Prosecution has to choose whether to prefer charges or not. Then this is presented to the courts. The courts have to listen to the evidence and take it all up, do an analysis, and then make a decision. So this is why I'm saying it's multifaceted. Now, question is, what if in the chain that we are talking about, one of them does not want to do the job? Or there's a collusion between two or all of them to ensure an injustice? Then who is hurting the justice system? Because you find that right now, we have the police who are supposed to do investigation. They are named as perpetrators in certain offenses. So this gives a third party an opportunity to do investigations. But this third party is not mandated by law to do investigations. They have to use the police.
Yes.
So how will a suspect do investigations against themselves? This is what now brings us back to what you were talking about the DIG being back in office. The DIG in the chain of command is second in command in terms of commanding the police, the National Police Service. IPOA cannot do investigations without the police. They can only use the police to do investigations. So how will they investigate their boss?
So even when they're saying, when IPOA comes out and says that DIG has not been completely absolved, right?
Correct.
Still, there's nothing they can do.
There's nothing much they can do.
And even him going back to office, it's like rubbing in the face of Kenyans and saying mtadu.
Yes, unfortunately. You know, the worst thing here, and it's so unfortunate, I don't know how far this has gone, but the application to bar the DIG to resume office was done by a private citizen. I would have expected IPOA to make a miscellaneous application in court to request for him to stay out of the office until the investigations are done and he is cleared.
Yeah.
To the best of my knowledge, I have not seen that. So who is hurting these investigations? I will leave that to to the public so that they can ascertain. Now, looking at, I recently saw this aspect of talking about who is hurting the justice system.
Yeah.
You saw the very tragic story of the lady who died in a police cell.
Yes.
And
The one in Nanyuki.
Yes, and she died. Her name is Julia Njoki.
Yeah.
Njoki died at a police station because she failed to raise a bond. And the bond was set at 50,000, which was unreachable to her. Despite pleading her case, the magistrate refused. So again, who is hurting the justice system?
Yeah.
You have another instance where people are accused of blatant offenses. You find that a murder has happened or a death has occurred in the hands of the police. Time is taken, investigations are done, the files are forwarded to the ODPP, and then, for one reason or another, they choose not to prefer charges against the people who are directly linked. And they prefer charges against the low cadre people, the people who are easy to get.
Yeah.
Who is hurting the judicial system? Who is hurting justice in this country? So they deliberately do that.
Yeah.
Because some things are just a matter of logic.
When you say they, Lawrence,
Yes.
you're part of the system.
Yes. From another angle, let me just
Yes.
justify that.
How compromised is this system?
Now, we need to qualify this other aspect, yeah? At the Director of Public Prosecution, the core people who are there are lawyers. And we are lawyers. I am a lawyer.
Yes.
They are advocates. They need to make certain decisions that comply with the code and ethics and directions that advocates have.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying I'm part of that system, because we are lawyers. There are other support staff, but they don't matter so much in this wheel or the cog of justice, the way you look at it. But in looking at whether we are the problems or not, it is looking at whether this office of Director of Public Prosecution is really an office that can be said to be independent, or it's an office that is susceptible to the whims of the political class. Now that is the main question here. Are they susceptible to be used for political gain?
Yeah.
Are they susceptible to be used by the executive to further their agenda? Unfortunately, the answer from where I sit is yes. Because some of the things you see that charges are preferred against this person, charges are dropped tomorrow, charges are not preferred, and you see the ODPP have been empowered to take certain decisions or make certain decisions that you cannot question unless you want to go for private prosecution.
So pretty much in Kenya, to put it simply,
Yes.
woe unto you if you're poor, or if you don't have power, or if you're not connected.
I've seen that phrase go around, and there's the two sides to every coin.
Yeah.
in as much as we're trying to ensure that justice is served to all people out there, the truth of the matter is that unless you can afford your access to justice, you will never get the justice.
Mimi
unfortunately.
Sasa huu uchafu mimi nataka tugeuze, maana ni uchafu.
Naam.
Na sijui utaizungumziaje, legally, morally, whatever, vile utakavyoiweka. Maafisa wa usalama hawawezi kujichunguza wenyewe.
Hawawezi.
Hiyo iko wazi. Wakaekewa IPOA. Juzi hapa nafikiri before Miriam break.
Kidogo nikukosoe kidogo. Hata kabla ufike kwa IPOA, kuna kitengo katika polisi ambacho kinaitwa internal affairs.
Yes.
Wamekewa ile ikizidi ile ndio unaenda sasa kwa IPOA.
Unaenda kwa IPOA. Sawa. So ukishatoka huku nje ni kwamba IPOA wanatake because wanafuatilia.
Ndio.
Walikuwa hapa.
Ndio.
Wakasema hiyo kufuatilia ni kazi kubwa.
Ndio.
Sasa swali langu linakuja hapa. Ni kwamba sisi tunaweka mamlaka, authorities ama tume hizi, kuna tume na kuna hizo authorities.
Ndio.
Tunaweka tume ambazo kwamba ni za kufumba Wakenya macho, ambazo haziwezi kufanya kazi, ziko tu pale kuhadaa watu. For example, kama IPOA yenyewe walikiri hapa kwamba ni ngumu wao kuchunguza polisi.
Ndio.
Because ballistic report nini?
Yeah, they say that they still need evidence.
Na hiyo evidence ni wakaichukue kwa polisi. Sijui story ya ballistic report na hizo stories za risasi
ni polisi
bado iko tu kwa polisi na iko centralized. Wewe kuiaccess kama wewe ni raia kwanza tayari ni shida
kabisa.
So huwa hizi authority na commission, are they set to fail from the beginning?
Salim. Kusema ule ukweli, unajua ndio ukifanyia mtu assessment, unaangalia jukumu ambalo limepewa na result ile umetoa. Matokeo yale umetoa kulingana na jukumu ambalo umepewa. When you look at this, tunaona ya kuwa maneno ambayo unasema ni ya kweli. Ni kama tayari failure iko hapo kisheria, tunatumia neno la Kilatini inaitwa ab initio. Hapo mwanzo.
ab initio hiyo nitarutumia baada.
Sasa utapata tume au shirika litatengwa ama litabuniwa, lakini hawatapewa vifaa vya kufanya kazi vizuri, hawatapewa budget, hawatapewa human resource, hawatapewa nguvu za kufanya. Sasa unapata wale wanakamati wa tume fulani wako hapo, watakuwa wanakuja kwenye press conference wanakuambia tunafanya hivi, lakini wanaandika tu barua wakiomba wale watu waweze kushirikiana nao. Wale watu wakikataa, hakuna mahali wanaenda. Ndio maana nilikuwa nimeanza kusema hapa, kwa nini tume hii ya IPOA, kwa nini hawako katika ile kesi ya kuomba ya kuwa DIG akae kando hadi uchunguzi uishe, na wawe katika koti zote wamefanya application, ili mtu yeyote ambaye anapatikana yuko na jambo lolote ambalo litafanya utendakazi wa afisa wa polisi uwe hauangaliwi vizuri, akae kando mpaka kesi ishe. Huwezi niambia wote hawana mawakili, na hao mawakili waambie kuwa sisi tunaweza enda kotini tufanye hivi na hivi. So inaonyesha kuwa mambo ambayo unasema kwa kiwango fulani ni kweli, sababu ni kama mtu ama watu wamekaa wameamua ya kuwa sisi wacha tuache tu ikae.
Na tunawalipa kwa hivyo.
Sababu wangekuwa wanaweka wanajitahidi ama wanaweka jitihada fulani kusema ya kuwa ndio sisi tukikuja leo tuko na kesi ambayo tumeweka kotini, tumepata amri hii na hii ya kuzuia mtu fulani until investigations itafanyike. Unaona kama wanasiasa, sisi kama wananchi wakipatikana na kashfa yote tunawaambia step aside. Patia watu nafasi wafanye uchunguzi wa kihuru, usiwe una interfere. mbona ikifika kwa polisi hatuwezi walazimisha?
Yeah.
Kwa nini IPOA haiwezi fanya jukumu lake la kuseme hamjapewa mambo mengi, hamjapewa resources, hamjapewa vitu vingine, lakini na ile kidogo mmepewa mmefanyia nini? That is a question.
There's a message from I want to take it back. One of our
Yes.
listeners yesterday we're talking about the death of Julia yesterday,
Yes.
and he brought an interesting perspective. This is Mar. Yesterday he said he was looking at now police brutality.
Yes.
Something I'm heading to. He says every state claims the right to use force to protect its people and maintain order. That's basic political theory. In Kenya, this monopoly on violence has morphed into unchecked aggression. Instead of protecting the citizens, the force often exists to protect power. So when people protest, the state doesn't see concerned citizens, it sees threats to authority.
Correct.
Kenya's police force is designed to protect the regime, not the republic. And you've also said that the DPP, it kind of looks, it seems like its role is to protect the political class. So then who is supposed to now protect the citizen? Why is it that at some point people forget their role in this country? The police protects those in power, the DPP also those in power. If you're not connected to power,
It goes back to a political statement that most elite politicians will tell you, because it's a statement that is thrown around with philosophical weight but absolute no intention to implement.
yeah.
It's a statement that goes like this: what we need in this country is to strengthen the institutions, make them independent so that we don't need anyone to rely on the political class or the leader. You've heard that statement. Every politician trying to woo and reach out to the elite will tell you that.
Yeah.
That we need to strengthen the institutions. We need to make the institutions independent. We need to make the institutions stronger than the individuals who sit in places of power. Practically, that has never happened.
Yeah.
In an ideal world, that is the best, because you hear something has happened. I'll talk about the UK for instance.
Yeah.
There was a very high-ranking person in the office who breached the COVID rules of being seen outside cycling without a
Oh
mask.
yes, I remember that. Yeah.
He resigned in the next day.
Yeah.
He was very powerful. But that is an aspect of taking responsibility, where you know that the office is bigger than the individual. Today in Kenya, something happens, even right now, whatever we are talking about, and someone says that let's run a poll to see how suitable the current ODPP is to hold that office. And when he reach out for comment, he will tell you, I will never resign. Most people will tell you, I'll never resign, because those institutions are not strong enough, they are not mandated, and they are not independent. That is the sad situation. If an institution was independent, like what I'm seeing right now with the Ombudsman's office, that is an institution with the current constitution that I am proud of. Because when they got into the office, they got complaints about the Judicial Service Commission and the judges. What did that office do? The chairperson of that office, I think his name is Charles Dulo. He wrote a letter, summoned them to come sit at a public hearing so that they can explain themselves. For fear of facing them, what did? They rushed to court and obtained orders so that they don't appear there. That was a very bold step that has never been seen in this country. The summoning of judicial service member. You know who judicial service commission members are? It is the CJ. It is a representative of the judiciary. It's a representative of Law Society of Kenya. It's a representative of the political class from the executive. That is right now is Isaac Ruto. And it is a very strong institution. So for another institution that oversights this institution to write them letters without considering any political drawback or anything. They say that come appear so that we can find out the root cause of this. So this guy is panicked, and then they rush to court. Of course, they obtain orders, but it was a bold move from an institution. IPOA has all the powers to summon someone, tell them that we are hearing this and this, we are seeing this and this happen. The ODPP has powers to prefer charges against individuals. We've seen things that have gone flying left, right, and center. The only person who enjoys immunity in office in this country is either a sitting judge in the execution of their mandate, that is a sitting judicial officer, or in the execution of their mandate, not in taking bribes. We've seen magistrates take plea for taking bribes and everything, or a sitting president. Now, the rest of the people, you have the cabinet secretary for interior security going into public platforms saying things that are inciting. You have other people holding office. They go out there and then they say things. They are not summoned by even the NCIC. They are not summoned by the ODPP to record statements. They are not summoned by the DCI.
Yeah.
So it clearly goes back to what Salim was saying. Maybe these offices only serve the political class. Maybe these offices forget their independence. They forget the powers that they hold.
Yeah.
And that is where the problem is.
All right. Thank you very much. We've been speaking to Lawrence Obonyo of Lawrence Obonyo Legal Advocates. Thank you for making time.
Thank you so much. I highly appreciate.
Yeah. And also just one more time, your social media handles in case somebody's thinking of reaching out.
Just maybe you can get us from the offices, and then social media handles, I don't know, they've offered, but we are out there.
Lawrence Obonyo.
Yes. Try that, you'll get us out there.
Try that.
And interestingly, today we are about to go to court in a matter of a few minutes. We'll be handling the submissions on the NGCDF. They want to reintroduce that. So today is a big day where we're having submissions on that. If you wish, you can just follow through on that. That is good for public consumption. Whether politicians are supposed to hold developmental money and utilize that or not, we are determining that through submissions today. It's a big showdown today.
Oh, so for anybody who's thinking of streaming that, is it online? Is it?
Yeah, it's online. We can make sure that we send the link to you to join the courts, and then you can just listen in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, please do.
Yes, we'll send that.
I know we'll talk about it tomorrow morning. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right.